forgot to. What are we doing?
Well,
Man, I do
speaking
remember
of that,
I only get one thing, and that's it. So it's not crazy.
I did go ahead and start recording. Like, I can cut it out if you don't want it, but
No, it's good.
we're leveling up right now. Hello, it's Tuesday now, but it'll be probably Wednesday when you see this. We're in the middle of some stuff, but feel free to tag along. So Davey, what do you get for level 7 fighter?
I get a nifty thing. I'm actually gonna try and grab a dice so I can roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm down in the basement.
Oh.
Because today was day 2 of homeschool. Oh, dear Lord.
So you're hiding.
Not
He's
entirely.
recovering. He's recovering.
Not entirely. But I will admit I'm gonna be a bit frazzled this session.
Oh, that's okay. I mean,
Good
your
thing
character.
nothing important is going on with your character.
Well, I mean,
I know,
your
right?
character's appropriately frazzled, I'm sure too. So,
Probably
If you haven't
not
listened to a
in this-
previous session, please listen now. Spoiler end.
yeah, if you're just listening to this one, you might want to listen to like the last 30 minutes of the last one. Yeah. But what?
Oh,
so
Or,
what do you?
like the last 30 episodes?
Or the last? Exactly.
It's just you just need context, really, just context.
Really, yes. They're fun. One of these days, I'm gonna edit together all the recaps you guys have done at the start of the session, but it is not this day.
Oh,
Like you would.
10. I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10 for your HP.
No, you didn't.
I did too. With my
Nice.
fancy dragon dice.
Oh, are you using your new dice?
Send a
Aw,
picture. Send a
Yeah,
picture
send a
right
pic.
now.
Send a
please,
pic.
I do want to send a pic or see a picture
I
of
will
that.
send you a
Let me
picture
see that
from the
shoo-shoo pic.
Underdim.
We're smart enough to know that you could fake it, but it makes it more real.
Yeah, you can't turn the dice. Just for the photo op.
Do you have a name for your new D&D basement?
Yeah, it's the Underdim.
The Underdome. Love it.
Underdim.
Underdim?
Underdark.
Ah,
Because you don't have light.
it's,
Well, it's because we just changed out the light bulbs, but it had like really low lumen lights, so it's just like this dim yellow basement. And so I started calling it that in my head until the other night when I told Anna, she's like, "What?" It's like,
The-
"Oh, I bought light bulbs to fix that." And oh, okay.
The
well, now it's not the
Underdim.
Underdim.
I love it.
The underbright.
Yeah.
So what
That's
do you
like
get at
actual, like,
level
normal
7? We keep.
Oh yeah. Well, I get at level 7. I get my Echo Avatar, which
Yeah,
is
so basically you have an extra copy of your avatar that you can place and also get opportunity attacks, right?
No, that's the level 18 one.
I just
is when I
breathed
get
the biggest
two
sigh of
echoes.
relief over here. I have more time. Whew.
No, but this one is really cool because I like I'd asked you about is on the side was that if we blah, 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 if we had finished with what's his name Proximo and leveled up, that I would have used it then. But this, starting at the 7th level, you can temporarily transfer your consciousness into your Echo. As an action, you can see through your Echo's eyes and hear through its ears. During this time, you are deafened and blinded. You can sustain this effect for up to 10 minutes, and you can end it at any time. Requires no action. While your Echo is being used in this way, it can be up to 1,000 feet away from you without being
What?
destroyed.
Oh God.
Versatile all-terrain scout.
Oh my gosh, and you can like use it
Immune
as a
to
defense
all
mechanism.
conditions.
You can like, oh, there's piercing, shrieking sound effects. You just be like, nope, I'm gone.
What are you gonna
Yeah, but
do
we
with
gotta protect
that?
him.
I'm
What couldn't
terrified.
he do?
Scout everything.
Scout everything.
Transport to his shade and teleport.
I mean, yeah, I mean, true.
Wait. So could you Could you teleport 1,000 feet with that?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you?
Well, it just so
Break
happens that this space is 1,005 feet away from you. So there.
I love that
Now,
the
keep in mind, he
first.
first has to move that distance.
That's true, but I do love that. Like theoretically, the first character to be able to teleport that distance is not the wizard; it is the fighter. which is absurd. Wow.
Anyways.
That's pretty sick.
Wait, I see you set the picture of the dice. It says 0, right? 0.
Yeah.
0. Well,
0 means 10.
I know.
And just for flavor, I decided to hold the dice because I totally didn't set it like that. Totally.
That's right. I saw that.
Anyways, but yeah, in full disclosure, there people have been like, oh yeah, if you made a range build, this is just super broken because you can just go up like 200 feet in the air and just start raining arrows on everybody, and there's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
That's my job.
Yeah. So Dan, if he goes and buys a bow at the next shop, watch out.
I mean, I have already asked Daniel if there's composite longbows available in town.
He already has a lightning javelin.
I mean, like, I have always toyed around the idea of, like, I mean, it's not a unique idea, but like a strength-based bow that's like kind of like the guys in Dark Souls in like the big, I forget what city, that have the bows that are like head height and they just like and then
A great bow?
I guess a great bow, yeah.
They have those in 3.5.
That's
They
cool.
effectively shoot javelins.
Exactly, that's like what they do in Dark Souls. That's awesome. Yeah.
The picture of the two Dark Souls archers is like one has the bow and the other is pointing. It's like, see that guy all the way over there? Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. My rule is usually that nothing is forbidden, to my chagrin. But yeah, I mean, I just like cool shit. And again, like, I'm running the game, and I would love to shoot javelins with a bow. So like, I want to help you do that if it makes sense. So,
Just keep in mind that we have like just introduced a bad guy with a dragon.
who is your
Formerly
spoilers?
having a dragon.
Who is
We already
warned him about spoilers.
we already warned
We're
him.
all
Okay.
in now.
who is your son? Which is
Yeah, that dude.
a
What?
whole thing. Not an undead that you can kill with reckless abandon. I mean, kill your son.
Falben is so confused right now.
We've got 3 more resurrection scrolls.
That's true. You guys have been pretty good about that. What does everybody else get at level 7? What about hey, who wants to?
What is the site that we use to make our sheets?
D&D Beyond.
That's where I went, and it says that I don't have an account.
Have you?
Have you checked the great all-knowing
Curse you,
dash
Wizards of the Coast.
I'm sure you have an account.
I'm sure I do as well, but
Yeah, I see your sheet here under the campaign. I'll post it in the Discord.
Well, while that's happening,
Yeah, please.
I hit level 7, and I leveled up, and that's nice. I got evasion, which is nice.
Great rogue ability.
Great rogue
Is that
ability.
is that
I'm
the one
much
that
more
lets you
sneaky
take
now.
like no damage from like area of effect, like safe stuff if you
If I
succeed?
have to roll a saving throw, on a success I take no damage, and on a fail I take half.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it's handy. Handy. My
Slippery.
effective health pool is higher. Yay.
People forget to treat it like that. It really does. It is giving you extra hit points basically between that and like uncanny dodge.
Yeah, it's glorious. And then also,
Oh God.
I get an extra sneak die.
Oh, bigger doinks.
Does glorious things to my crits.
Very nice.
I just need to crit more.
I'm afraid.
There you
Level 7's a good level for rogue.
go. There you go. An example.
50. Wow. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that.
Wow.
What about Magus? What does Magus get at level 7?
Nothing too special. Just access to 4th level spells now.
Oh God!
And one of which I was telling Daniel about.
That's me.
I took the spell Sickening Radiance.
It's a
which
very good
creates
spell.
a 30-foot radius area continuous for 10 minutes. And if you enter or start your turn in that area, you have to make a Constitution saving throw. If you fail it, you take 4d10 damage and 1 level of exhaustion.
Wait a minute. What kind of radius?
What?
20-foot radius?
30-foot radius, and I can expand that to 35 feet. Just because.
And wait a minute. And can you shape it?
Yes, I can. So I can put like a giant area around all of us, and anyone fighting us has 6 rounds until they just die.
Up to 5 creatures. Not around unlimited creatures, but yes, that is. It's essentially you cracking open the demon core, and you all have hazmat suits on. Like it's it's awful.
Have you heard about the box of Pandora?
Yeah. So this is not spoilers, but a wizard in the game I played in, shout out to Wesley, used Sickening Radiance to sickening effect in our game. Bad things happened, along with some good things, but he did not have the shape spell stuff like you do.
See, I do.
Yeah, that's why the bad stuff happened. Anyway,
nope, I'm just gonna like put it on Shade and have Shade stop everybody in their tracks. And
I like how like slowly we're each getting abilities where like we could totally fuck the other players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, you guys' primary weakness in this campaign is being good people generally. That's the only thing stopping you from total world domination.
Yep. Falben just needs to just wait until I get the Disintegrate spell. That fulfills Lotharia's criteria.
Wait,
instant death, cannot be resurrected, and it's painless.
Okay, I'm here for that. For context, the goddess of death, Lotharia, really wants Falben to be killed quickly, painlessly, a certain number of times, so that he will be forever with her in her domain for reasons unknown. So, and she has at least once propositioned one of the other characters to assassinate Falben for her. They did not accept, so.
Yeah.
Falben's really confused.
We're all really confused. Theo, how's it going over there? Have you found out what you get for level 7 yet?
I get something called Flash of Genius.
Ooh.
That's actually really cool.
Level, you gain the ability to come up with solutions under pressure. When you or another creature you see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or a saving throw, you can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier to the roll.
Ooh.
You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once.
Which is 4.
And regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
That's really good.
Really nice. It's essentially
That's
like
insanely powerful with luck, combined with luck. Like you are like the dice master.
it's like a really, really hyper focused like bless spell. Like instead of a 1d4, it's just +4, but it's like one target and a reaction. That's really good. It's really good.
Sickness.
Did you get any new spells?
Not that I'm seeing. unless I'm
Probably.
looking at the wrong place.
Let's see. You probably have more. You can prepare 2 more spells. You have 5 out of 7 prepared, at least in D&D Beyond. So you got. There's a lot of second level spells. Actually, I don't think you've taken any second level spells besides the ones you have always prepared, which is Scorching Ray, which is awesome, and Shatter, also awesome. There's some cool ones in there.
Yes, I don't think I've taken any second level ones either.
Yeah. I feel like Heat Metal would be cool for Theo. You got Levitate. That's pretty cool. Enlarge Reduce. It's always fun.
Enlarge Reduce.
Yeah.
I used that in one of our other
Could you use that, Magus?
I mean, I could learn it. There's very little that I couldn't learn.
Ooh, arm banding.
So like because you guys never like pursued any of the loot in the thing. There was one like joke item that I was gonna add, and it was basically a pair of armbands that had like wing motifs on them. That when you wear them, you cannot sink in water. So, like water wings.
Water wings.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
The fruit from One Piece.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Damn.
I even was like, oh, the one guy in the gelatinous cube, they're gonna like yoink his item. No, no. The only one that that was in any danger was freaking the annoying guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That dude.
Spiro.
Spiro, his armor, which he lived. So anyway,
Like you said, if we were just evil people, we'd rule the world.
I know, I know. Okay, well, yeah.
I did learn another spell as well. I'm in 2 each level. And after our experience last session, I took Control Water.
Ooh.
Control water's cool.
And particularly as we're going to be potentially finding the Ultros and starting doing ship-related things.
That's true.
So
Maybe.
What is it?
Oh, hey, so there's going to be, like, pirates or, like, followers of Sidon. Too bad there's a whirlpool underneath them.
You could, like, it just lets you shape water?
I can create whirlpools, I can shape water, I can cause it to flow in different directions, stuff like that.
Does that combine with shape at all? Interesting.
Okay, well, do we have any other housekeeping items that we would like to go over?
Really quick,
Yeah.
because you did mention the name of Gaius's dragon
I did.
last session.
Yeah, if
which
it
is
wasn't clear, I
Argon.
shouted the word. Yeah, Argon, Argyn.
Oh, I heard again, and
That's
I was
what-
like, again what?
That's what Gray also heard. So I'm sorry that. Anyway, like it's okay that your characters might be confused about it, but
We're
yes,
still shocked.
Argon.
As
there-
usual, I plugged it in to see if it meant anything in any language.
Yeah, it's on the periodic table.
Argon is apparently Turkish for fat. So Magus
Well,
is just gonna have that in the back of his mind.
Good thing we're not in Turkey. Like,
That's why it got mistaken for a flying helm.
oh my god.
Wow, that is OG right there.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Like I said, I'm a little frazzled tonight.
Oh man. Yes. So if that was unclear to any listeners, he shouted the name Argon before the dragon began to attack. So, would anyone like to do the recap, or would we like to do it like we did last time, where everybody chimes in? Again, the rewards will be the same. One person will receive a D20 inspiration die, or everyone will receive a D6 Spartic inspiration die.
I feel like we have to try the popcorn one more time now that we're fresh.
Works for me.
Theo and Magus?
Sure. Like I feel like I am leaving my decision up to Shade. It feels important for him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, go for it.
popcorn it is. Who wants to start?
Well, I think last time since I started, I should get to pick who goes first.
Okay.
It should be Magus because I skipped half of the episode.
Okay, so starting at the beginning of the episode,
Take it from the top.
we are leaving the auction with the Lady of Coins, finish dividing that up. We make it back to the Grate where we had entered through, and the Lady of Coins goes up and finds that the gate has been chained shut. And while she and Falben are having a look at that, Makyra's Stimfe arrives and tells us that Proximo is coming with a bunch of Kingsguard and we need to leave immediately. Also, the baths all turn on, which starts a torrent of water coming down the grate, and not just this grate, but every other grate connected to the bathhouse and the sewer systems. We are able to determine that this will cause flooding, which will kill all of the nobles. There is, however, the Lady of Coins says that there is a separate exit that we could take if we wanted to. And so we decided that she will go up through the bathhouse. We will not take the route that leads us to contact with Proximo. We will instead go down this alternate exit and warn the nobles and potentially save them while we're at it. So we go down, we burst into the auction. We managed to convince a lot of the nobles to come with us, and that will save them. 5 stay behind, locked into the vault by the concierge, who then comes with us. So that's interesting. We get an agreement from Crassus that if we get him out and save his life, he will return the Goblin of Malta.
Yes.
Terran Nerdigan goes in the cube, but his son Spiro Nerdigan, noted school rival of Magus, comes with us. And so we continue down to the beginning of this secret entrance. And Falben.
Oh my gosh. It's a tunnel, and there's an opening. There's a door. A door that's half opened and half closed, depending on which kind of positivity you are that day. We get to it, and for some reason, I'm the one fiddling with the door with my little fingers, and I'm finding out what the lock is like, the mechanism. Managed to get it going, and Falben threatens the nobles that he's going to look at them if they slow down. Gets them to go over. Shade ties a rope around Falben. Goes through. Falben gets the door to start closing to help stop the flow of water, which apparently was important because of what you'll hear later. And Shade then pulls Falben through, and we are presented with a dimly lit area with poop smears and pools of piss, which are actually brown fungus and yellow fungus, but I can't get out of it. I mean, it's the water treatment plant.
That's
it's so
totally.
apropos.
I mean, it's there too. Also, my apologies for. I know I mentioned it, but I accidentally made the brown stuff called yellow mold, and I named the yellow stuff brown mold. So I realized that might have been confusing. But we worked with it.
A very confused botanist.
Yeah,
who named it.
we worked
He
with
was
it.
colorblind. It's fine.
Exactly.
Falben happened to remember an escapade where he had dealt with this in the past, and one of his co-workers, I guess, had met an ill fate. And so he explained that to the party, and we decided to be careful. So then Falben bravely led the way with one of the nobles, and as Falben was leading the way, something fell off from the ceiling, burrowed itself into the head of the noble standing next to Falben. And Falben, instead of screaming or something, just kind of was like, what? Took a few steps back, and then managed to remember something about these burrowers, and warned everybody that we should be careful about that. Meanwhile, dead guy is dead. Didn't really care for him, so we let the body be harvested for a while. Went about our business. I think that actually encouraged the nobles to listen. But we'll never know. Theo.
So yeah, we're down in the depths of the darkness with yellow and brown mold, and one likes ice and the other one likes fire. So we do the according countermeasures to make sure that we don't blow ourselves up. Clear a path spectacularly. Shade does, using his lightning javelin, killing 5 of those.
That was awesome.
Those, critters.
The
And,
piercers.
One was left. Yes, piercers. One was left. We finished him off. moved our way down the tunnel, clearing as we went. Nobles were, really enjoying the show that we were giving them. And
They
then
were all
one
pretty
of them
drunk.
got cute and decided that he needed to go to the bathroom. So he, despite Theo being like, "Hey, dude, not a good idea," and then Shade was like, "Hey, dude, not a good idea," guy was like, "Well, I'll just go right here then." So he went right next to me, but that didn't save him because a massive gelatinous blob of sewage came by and just devoured him. Was it an acid slime? Was that his official designation?
Who? Oh, I don't think we named him. Oh wait, no.
Gelatinous cube is what it is.
Gelatinous
gelatinous
cube. Oh,
cube.
the noble. He did have a name, but yeah, gelatinous cube.
The noble's name is also Gelatinous Cube now.
It was easy to get them mixed up,
Exactly.
So I killed him.
You're not gonna believe this, but
So that cube was perfectly blocking the huge influx of water that was in the sewage system, and it was once I shot it with a crossbow bolt, I noticed that water was leaking through it, so it was effectively blocking the entire tunnel and all the water behind it that was filling up due to the drain being open. And we were giving some poor guy the Poseidon's kiss every time we knocked that thing back.
I think I counted 9 times. It was either
9
eight,
kisses.
8 or 9 Poseidon's kisses.
Wow.
We still haven't
Quite a
factored how much water was moved.
Yeah, we need to figure out the headline.
So 15 cubic feet of water.
Of Poseidon kisses.
Well, technically,
Up
it's
the-
all the
up
water, all the water behind it, right? Like, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
We'd have to navigate the square
it
footage.
displaced, I believe it was 1,125 cubic feet of water every time it got pushed back 5 feet.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
And that's just the
Yeah.
that's just the displacement, right? Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still, something that a
That happened
tiny
9
construct was
times.
able to do. Yeah. So cool.
Basically a geyser for everyone's house.
Yep.
And at the same time, while this Nimrod was getting eaten, we also found some nasty mosquito sucking things. I'm great with names.
I believe the
Sturges.
term you're looking for, yes, sturge.
Something with a hibiscus. Proboscis. Proboscis! Ah, words.
That hibiscus tea.
Exactly. I'm actually having some right now, which is why I said it. So we killed those ones while the cube was coming. Shade had his knockback with his staff, so he kept pushing it back 5 feet. Theo had his javelin turret that was also pushing it back 5 feet, so it was kept back. And then while we were running down the hall, one of our favorite characters that is loved by Magus had his wings that he put on, and he flew down the corridor, and there was a massive trash monster. Great with words again. That snagged him and ate him, so our way was blocked yet again. So then we had to kill him because he was occupying the one space we needed to get out of the dungeon.
By him, you mean the legendary shambling mound.
Legendary shit.
Exactly, the legendary trash
Not
pile.
Spiro.
Well, and remember, like, please keep in mind that, like, the trash monster moved off of the grate at some point during the fight, and you could have gone through the grate, but you did decide to stay and rescue Spiro.
Well, but then we wouldn't have gotten the armor.
But did we stay for Spiro, or did we stay to kill the shambling mold? These are things we'll never know.
No, I know. We stayed to get the wings.
But you didn't.
Wings of armor.
He walked away. He's gone. You let him go.
Theo was seriously hoping that Spiro was already dead and we were
Yes.
going to loot the body.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Every word he said in that second half was violence. I love it.
Exactly. So we dealt with that monstrosity, went through the grate, all the water came through, and now I think Shade the rest of the episode would be aptly finished
Yeah.
by.
Yeah. So, at that point, while we're settling accounts, we're getting the goblin back. The goblin. Yes, so the goblin. There's only one, the goblin. If you don't know who the goblin is, you need to go back and watch previous episodes.
Yep.
Also, fix your life. Fix your life.
Yes, take all that you can get to the most. Anyways.
That's gonna be a puzzle later on.
It doesn't even make grammatical sense.
It's not the important part.
So, like, the water dies down, the nobles are starting to shuffle off in their half-drunk, mostly drunk states, which we really should have looked at pickpocketing some of them. Anyways, but we're good people. Good people.
We keep telling ourselves that.
Shade starts looking around and goes, wait a second, that's my house over there. I completely forgot that I was right next to the water treatment plant. And so he thought back to being at the auction and his conversation with Gaius, where Gaius is like, yo, we need to chat. And we're going to do it at the old house by the water treatment plant. And so Shade's like, well, no time like the present. And he heads up there. The rest of the party kind of falling a little bit behind. He walks in through the front door, sees all these creepy statues. The house is in like disrepair and everything, but it's still standing. That's when Gaius starts talking. And he starts talking about Shade's past. And, you know, Shade's previous love interest, his fiance from 500 years ago, and how she had a kid, Shade's kid. And then she got separated from the kid, and then weird things happened, and now suddenly, dun dun dun, Gaius is the kid. And Gaius takes off the mask, drops it to the floor with this huge, thunderous whatever, big impact. And Shade sees that Gaius has undergone at least a partial lycanthropic transformation. So he's got some features. He's got fangs. He's got the blue eyes. He's got like patches of the black and white fur on his face. And he's angry. He's angry at Shade because, hey, Dad, you weren't there ever because you died and now you're not dead. And that's even worse. And then he's like, you know what? I want to see you pay. So guess what? You get to watch your old house get crushed by a dragon. And that's where we ended.
So good. So good. I have been looking for... everybody get your D6s of Bardic Inspiration. We'll just call it Popcorn Inspiration. I've been looking for music. Something sad. And I haven't found anything that I really like.
Just pull up some ABBA.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
How to get delisted.
Right? Yeah, we're not doing that. We're using Tabletop Audio and Michael Gelfi Audio. Great sources. Tabletop Audio is free. Anybody can use it. It's super good. Did I just do a freaking ad read on accident?
You did.
Right as I'm trying to lean into this like intense, suspenseful moment. Wow, I'm really sorry. Let's see. Not atmosphere. I feel like we're into combat, really, like in terms of music goes.
Not that it matters.
Not that it matters.
Just roll initiative.
Okay, we are gonna roll initiative actually. So,
Sure.
so go ahead and click on your token and roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have
Falben's so confused. It's like, do we like Gaius now?
have Gaius and Argon go on the same
What?
initiative.
That might be the lowest I can roll. I rolled a nat 1.
Really?
Falben is stunned.
Oh man, we're gonna fix that.
Okay, so we're all rolling initiative. Some truths first. Falben, you're not surprised because you can't be.
Right. That's right.
And I wrote that down so that I wouldn't forget.
Thank you.
Theo and Magus, you do have the surprised condition because
Oh, come on.
you were outside the building and it all
that
happened
would be
really
pretty
quickly. Shade, you could tell something was coming, some sort of expression of this anger was coming, and so you were not surprised. So the first to act is going to be Argon. So yeah. Oh yes.
Well, I mean, I would like to use my Ring of Stolen Alacrity and attempt to swap initiative with Argon.
Okay, what does that involve?
Actually, this.
I love the flavor text. Mind if I cut in?
The creature must succeed at a DC 13 Charisma saving throw.
Okay. Let's see. They are proficient in charisma saves. They rolled. Is a 13? That's a tie, right?
That would be a tie.
So that's a pass. Okay. So
Bummer. That it is the way it is.
you see
Continue.
this. You see, like out of the dark sky, you see a glint, a shimmer of reflected moonlight as the wings spread. You hear like a muffled shout from inside the building, and then you see these wings spread, and this like silvery scales reflect this moonlight as it dive bombs down towards the building, and then with its giant feet outstretched, collides with the roof, which begins to give way. So that's what it's gonna do on its turn.
Oh my gosh.
Magus, you're surprised. Falben.
Shade's inside.
Shade is inside.
Yeah.
He's about to have his tiny bones crushed.
Maybe. We'll see.
They're not tiny. My bones aren't tiny.
He drinks his milk.
Well,
Yes, he does.
man.
So Falben, what do you do?
As much as you said Falben's not surprised, I mean, what do? Do you fight this giant beast? Do you try to kill your friend's son, who's unexpected? Do you?
You
try
know.
to save
So
the
here's the
person you
thing.
can't haul away?
Here's the thing. You probably
you don't do that,
didn't.
though.
Yeah, you didn't hear any of the conversation like clearly, probably. So you don't know.
Sweet.
All you heard was this outraged shout, and then this dragon swoop in and collide with the roof. So that's all you know.
Just go murder a hobo. You're clear.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, so I mean, I think the way that Falben would respond in the event of this happening is he's just gonna go ham, and that can only mean one thing as Falben.
You go 1-2.
I'm gonna throw a dagger.
Okay, I'm gonna say, since you're basically outside the building, kind of in the
Yes.
like the front yard,
Yes.
and it is kind of up on the roof, it's gonna have half cover, so it's gonna have a +2 to AC.
All right.
Is
So
that
15 to hit
how?
with -2.
Okay, would you like to modify that at all?
Nope.
Okay, there it is a miss. It flies over the wing. Thankfully, it comes back to you. You would hate to lose this dagger at sea.
I love it.
Would you like to do anything else?
I'm gonna go consciously stand next to Magus. I'm kind of close to him, but
Consciously.
if I'm not, I'm gonna get really close to him, and I'm gonna say, "Are we gonna fight this dragon?" Like second guessing that I threw a dagger at it.
Right.
And then that's gonna end my turn.
Okay, I love that. Like, oh shit, should I have done that? Okay, so it is Commander Gaius' turn. So Shade, you see the once elegantly carved ceiling of your home 500 years ago begin to crumple and crash in, and the weight of the stone starts to do the work. And you see these silvery dragon feet with their sharp claws penetrate the ceiling. Gaius seems to be moving to rendezvous with the dragon. Seems like he's moving to leave. So he's going to make a dash action, and he is going to run across some of these toppling Gigan statues, and he's going to leap and grab onto the leg of Argon. And we'll say that's as far as the movement takes him. And it is your turn.
So just to be clear, like where?
We'll say you're 30 feet from where Gaius was, and now he's he's like it's a pretty high ceiling. He's like 20 or 30 feet up in the air,
and the ceiling, like you said, is mostly made out of stone and I assume like slate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's not, since it was fairly, I guess, quote unquote, fairly well kept, like the ceiling is mostly intact. So if this collapses, it's burying everything, right?
Make a perception check.
I will make a perception check. Perception.
Non-natural 20. So, you saw something strange when you were standing in this atrium earlier, but it's starting to click now. It looks like a lot of the ceiling had been strategically cut into these like orderly like weak points. It seems like this building, while well kept, has been set up to be demolished.
So staying inside would be a really bad idea, is what I'm hearing.
Probably. They don't have det cord in this universe, but if they did, that's basically what it would be rigged with.
Okay. And real quick, like where the dragon's like punching through the ceiling, that's not going to end up being like a epicenter, like a clear spot where everything will fall around that. That's just...
Maybe. I mean, right now it's a hole in the roof. Rubble is beginning to fall, but if there is an opening, like a big opening, it's right through the center in the middle.
What the heck? I'm gonna run for where the opening is so I can like keep my eyes on Gaius.
Okay.
The whole time.
So you're moving straight ahead into the center of the room. I'm going to say it's difficult terrain because of all these statues. So if you want to get to the center, you're going to have to dash.
Okay, I'll do that. Is that effectively where Gaius was standing
Yeah,
before
basically, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that's where I'll go.
Okay. If you want, you could action surge to take an action, but otherwise, I think that's.
I don't think I have any action that I want to do at this point.
Okay, cool. So you're directly below where Argon crashed through the ceiling. There's kind of a ring of rubble beginning to fall around you, and it's pounding on the pavement at your feet. You can feel that even the ground at your feet is not stable. You remember that there are sublevels to this house, and it's likely that where you're standing is not going to be where you're buried. It will be lower. So is there anything?
And I will take one other action.
Okay.
Like it said, it's basically clear above me,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
I'm going to summon my echo right next to me.
Okay. Right next to you.
Yep. Right next to me.
Perfect. Okay. Back around. Theo, you see Falben throw a dagger at this glimmer, and that now that you know is a dragon in the sky, crashes into the ceiling. Falben runs back and asks, "Are we going to fight this dragon? What do you do?"
Do I have eyes on Gaius, or am I just seeing the dragon?
You don't
or
see
what?
Gaius. You can see the top of the dragon. I'm going to say now the dragon has 3/4 cover because he's mostly within the roof.
Well, I'm a sniper.
So he has. You are. So you have the sharpshooter feat.
Yes.
So you ignore cover. That's perfect.
I would say protect our friend Dingus. Currently, the game is paused, so I can't shoot at him.
Oh, sorry. Go for it. It's a 17. Would you like to modify that at all?
No.
Okay. Your shot bounces off one of the large protruding spines on the back ridge of the dragon, seemingly doing no damage.
Well, Rue's gonna take him down. I'll show you a dragon, mate.
12
Rue.
just glances off completely ineffectively.
Right, yeah. No, that's solid.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's can't really run from a dragon. So.
Okay. Argon's turn. You guys did attack it, so it's going to respond.
And you're standing next to me.
To be clear, I didn't hit it.
I mean, technically, no one hit it.
Technically, no one hit it, but you insulted it.
That's true.
So, the shade, you can look straight up, and the moonlight casting these shadows through the dust and rubble that's falling more and more rapidly. Gaius just looking down at you with just incredible disdain, but also like a slight smile of satisfaction. And then mixed with a little confusion as he sees your echo. But he is aboard Argon, and Argon is going to take off. So Argon lofts up, spreading her vast wings, and begins to fly up. Turning to the rest of you in the front yard, and is going to fly towards you and start to inhale. So I need Falben, Theo, and Magus to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Evasion! Evasion!
It's a nat 20 from Magus. Very nice. That's a 2 from Rue. I mean, Rue would be rolling as well, so.
Can I use inspiration for Rue?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
There goes the frames per second on the window
yes.
again.
You broke it with that D20.
It's a 15 from Falben, and a 22 for Theo. We're gonna re-roll for Rue.
Yeah. He needs the help.
And that's pretty good. Was that a 16 for Rue?
16.
Yep.
Sorry, Falben.
Magus and Theo are the only ones who succeed. So
Right.
Let's go.
You guys are all going to take.
Thankfully, I'm only gonna take half.
Evasion only works for dex saving throws.
You guys are going to take 50.
Why did you read it?
You guys are going to take 54.
You threw the dagger!
You guys are taking 54 cold damage.
Who's taking 54 damage?
5-4 cold damage.
Wait a minute. So that's
So
the
that's-
full
Who's
number,
dying?
right?
Oh, sorry. Anyone who failed takes 54.
Mm-hmm.
And then half of
So
that on a
Theo
success.
and Magus take half.
Theo and Magus take 22. Sorry, 27.
Cool.
27.
Cool.
So what you're saying is I take 27
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
damage. So like no. So what you're saying is that's a 2? 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
There's so much blood underneath me right now on the minimap.
Rue got hit too, right?
Rue got hit too. Yeah. So Rue goes
Well,
down.
you just be
Actually,
gone.
Rue might be. Because how much HP does Rue have? 21?
21.
I think that's massive damage for Rue. I think that outright kills Rue. Like,
No.
you can resurrect or rebuild him, but that's gonna destroy Rue.
I made a promise that it wouldn't happen again.
So this is cold damage. Theo, tell me how it happens to Rue.
You're vicious. He's flying in the air, living his best life. Just missed his shot, and he's like, "Ah, shit, not again." And then all of a sudden, he gets blasted with frost. His gears all start to freeze, and he falls. And when he hits the ground, he shatters.
I'm gonna give you inspiration for that. I'm sorry I made you do that. But it was a good description. And with the rest of its movement, it's gonna turn and begin to fly south. But anybody who would like to make an opportunity attack can.
I mean, Theo's gonna shoot it out of just rage and anger.
I think it needs to be a melee attack.
Well,
it got that close to us.
I'll say it swooped right over you. Sure. Am I going too easy on you?
Unarmed? Unarmed strike? Unarmed strike, I guess?
This game too easy.
That actually hits.
Vengeance is mine!
So Argon, mounted with Commander Gaius, still climbing up into the saddle of this dragon, flies down in rage that you even attempted to hurt it. Unleashes this breath of cold, just shattering your Stimphe, bringing a couple of you to very low health. And then as it swoops over, Theo, you just reach up and punch it.
and I say, "Fuck you!"
And Argon takes 2 bludgeoning damage.
He's almost dead.
Oh, that's so funny.
Finish him off.
Okay. Was anybody else making an opportunity attack?
No.
No? Okay. Cool. All right, so it's gonna fly 20 feet away to the south. Magus, it's your turn.
Okay. First, am I able to perceive that this is indeed a silver dragon?
You're pretty sure, but there's other types of light metal dragons. If you'd like to make a use your action to make a investigation or perception check to specify, then you can.
Nope. I'll think about this later.
Because there's Because there's platinum, mithril. There's other silvery color metals.
Let's see. Do I have eyes on shade?
No, you don't. The front door is the front door. You could dash and reach him.
So I could dash and reach shade or reach the front door.
Oh, you could. Well, actually, the front door. We'll say the front door is 30 feet away from you, and then shade is 30 feet away. But it's difficult terrain once inside because it's full of statues. So you could not reach shade unless you sped yourself up.
Right. Thing is, I don't really have a plan for after I get inside the collapsing building. And I just got reduced to half health, so we're not gonna do that.
See you, Shade.
I mean, at this point, if I ran in, he would have to save me. So,
True.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
fine.
morning duels, but not worth it.
So I will just turn and I'm not even. I'm going to use subtle spell. So I'm just almost slack-jawed, kind of hands at my side, watching them fly away, and I'm going to cast a message to Argon. And I will just say in Draconic, terrify but majestic.
Okay. And
Trying to woo Gaius's steed out from under him.
roll a perception check. It's a natural 1. Would you like to re-roll that, or?
No.
Okay. You see them flying away to the south over the sea. You hear no response.
Okay.
Anything else?
That is my turn.
Okay. Falben, you just got hit really hard. Your fingers.
Fuck!
I love that you wait until your turn and then you emote with this amazing energy. Yeah, like your nose, your fingers, you're near frostbitten. Your snakes are like, no, don't like that. What do you do?
I'm gonna like I'm kind of feeling the same thing Magus says. I don't think I can actually help Shade. So I'm gonna start making a fire. Got a tinderbox.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Okay. You start making a fire. Lighting any.
Yes.
Let's see. It takes an
And
action.
So I'm just like, what? Yep. I'm spending an action. I'm just like getting some twigs and stuff. I'd imagine other people might be wondering if I'm all right. That's probably good.
I'm gonna say
and-
roll a survival check because this rock being on the sea, it's very humid. It gets a lot of waves and splashes and stuff. You might not be able to light this. Sticks. It's a 13. You're gonna need one more action to get it sparked up.
Rue is dead, and you're lighting a goddamn fire.
Anything else?
Where's your head, son?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm gonna. Sorry, I am actually going to. As I'm like trying to get this fire going and I'm like frozen and stuff, I am gonna walk over to Theo, and I'm going to say, I don't think this can help, but this is all I have, and I'm going to offer him the healer's kit, which obviously will not help.
Yeah, I'm not taking that shit. I am clutching the remains of Rue right now. I ain't got time for no kit. If you want to put it on the ground, then put it on the ground. I'm just trying to pick up the shattered remains of my companion that I have failed yet again.
Oh my god. That's my turn.
Okay. Shade.
Can I do a small bit of retcon?
Yeah. What's up?
I'd like to use my movement to go to the entrance of the house, but not inside it.
Sure thing. You get to the doorway. Shade, you are standing in a ring of moonlight, and around you is a ring of mounting rubble that is beginning to weigh on the foundation below you.
Yep.
You have a feeling that if you don't move, the spot you're standing in is going to fall.
Yep. All right. First action. The Echo is moving 30 feet to the door.
Okay.
That's its movement. So it's still within 30 feet.
Because it's
not disappearing
it's
yet.
unhindered by difficult terrain.
Yep.
So cool.
Yep. I know.
It's like because it's like
Shade.
an alternate time when the statues weren't
So
here.
Right, it's an alternate reality where there are no statues, so it just like phases through them, which would really freak Magus out because it's gonna show up like right in front of him, just like
He's gonna
phasing
open the
through.
door. Yeah.
And it's gonna like come through a statue right in front of him.
So he goes to the door, but not through it?
Well, that's as far as he can go, 30 feet.
Sure.
Shade, now that Gaius has like jumped off the building basically with on a dragon, Shade is gonna, because he's standing where Gaius was when he dropped the mask. Shade is gonna grab the mask.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, assuming I can just grab it, right?
Yeah. You grab it. It's
cool.
heavier than you expect, but you grab it.
You're cursed. You die.
Shade is gonna grab the mask and, with it up, kind of like in a football hold, start pushing his way through statues, running towards the door too.
Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have you roll an athletics check, and depending on how well you do, you're gonna be able to like bowl over these statues and ignore the difficult terrain. It's a non-natural 20. Are you cool with that result?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you should be. That's fucking awesome. So you pick up the discarded mask that once concealed the identity of Gaius, his shame that you passed to him, and you tuck it in close. You bring an arm up, and like a linebacker, you start just charging through these. This field of mostly Gigan statues, just toppling them over like bowling pins, until you reach, I guess, the doorway, catching up with your echo. And you can hear the floor beginning to collapse behind you as you run. What else would you like to do?
I mean, I think that's just about all my actions.
I think so. Shit, that's so cool. So at the bottom of the round, indeed the spot where you were standing, like a concentric, like a shockwave out from the middle, begins to collapse in a ring that grows, and what was once your parlor, what was once your kitchen, what was once your living room, your stairwell, they've all begun to fall into this basement level, and that in turn, with the velocity and the mass, begins to crumble as well until you there's like tunnels you didn't even know about that reach all the way to the sea, begins to splash water up through the center of your ruined home, and we come back up to Theo.
Yeah, I'm just in shock.
You're hearing an insane amount of physics going on inside this house. Though you can't see it, you can hear it and feel it.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Your morning rue. Yeah. Would you like to do anything this turn?
Just kind of try to start picking up pieces.
Okay. You pick up pieces of roof for 6 seconds. Magus.
Now I would like to do an intelligence check to see if I can compare my observation of the color of the dragon with its abilities and narrow down exactly what type of dragon it is.
Fair. I would allow that or a nature check.
I'm not proficient in nature, so it would just be straight intelligence.
Okay, that's fine.
You mean Magus isn't proficient in knowledge dragon?
You would think so. Maybe later. A 21 on that intelligence check. Yes. After catching your breath, what you've read about dragons and what you just saw is beginning to come into place. It is indeed a silver dragon.
Okay.
Likely somewhere between a young silver dragon and an adult silver dragon.
Okay. And Shade is like, he made it to the doorway?
You don't know. The door is shut.
Oh. Okay.
Actually,
I opened the door.
that is something. I guess it depends on if Shade shut the door after him. I don't know if we said if you did or not.
I didn't.
You didn't. Okay.
I would have intentionally left, tactics and all. I would have left it open for, either a retreat or help.
That's fair. So the door is open, so you can see Shade now. Before you couldn't because he was hidden in this literal field of statues.
Did he make it to the door?
He is reaching the door as you peer to see.
I'm gonna reach out and pull him over the threshold.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, we'll say that you can use your bonus action to do that. Shade, you are pulled clear of the threshold just as the tiles approaching the door begin to fall away. I think we're up to Falben now.
Yeah, so I've dropped the healing kit next to Theo, and I'm gonna go back to try and light the fire.
Okay, roll one more survival check. That is enough. You are able to get this damp kindling started, and you have a fire on hand.
Yep. And then I'm gonna just huddle over that and kind of motion to people in a half-hearted way and shiver over my fire.
Okay, I think we can exit combat, but as we do so, Shade, you stumble out. Describe, talk.
Yeah. So Shade would stumble out, literally this cloud of dust coming in behind him, his echo coming out right on his heels. You take 2 steps, kind of propelled by Magus past the threshold where everything's collapsing. He'd stop for just a second, deep breath, kind of looking around wild-eyed, scan the skies. I assume he'll still be able to spot Gaius.
It's a much smaller silhouette, but you can still make it out.
And then he is going to just daunting roar, just pain and anguish about what he just figured out about his past, his now son, and just I assume it would kind of slightly shock everybody around, but he'll just straight just roar to the heavens type of thing. Partly for his own sake, but partly because he knows this is what Gaius wants. He wants to feel Shade's pain.
Yep. And you have, willingly or not, given him some of that. Okay, so I think that's where we are now. So so you guys have a minute. What's happening?
And you guys might also notice that Shade has Gaius's mask clutched in his hand.
Well, with the roar of Shade, would kind of be taken out of his stupor and be like, what the heck happened?
Looks like he got at least one hit on him. Nodding toward the mask.
No, I didn't. Shade is visibly very, very upset. He's Gaius is my son. I don't. Starts pacing back and forth. I don't know how. But he's Finea and I's child.
At that, Falben is gonna look up from his campfire of maybe I'm gonna live and with wide eyes, look at you, and just kind of mouth agape, silent.
Shade's just gonna keep an agitated pacing, just like at a loss. He has no idea what to do. Like, this has just rocked his world. Like, I don't. What? I don't know how.
Okay, we're obviously going to need some time. We don't know if the city is safe. If Proximo got out to come look for us, I don't know that it's safe here necessarily. Has the house collapsed, by the way?
The house has, actually, as you guys are talking, the last thing to fall are kind of the very outer walls, which slowly begin to crumble in from the top down until just like anywhere from nothing to like 8 to 10 foot segments remain. Just now just a ruin. You can see the sea from where you are now, where you couldn't before. But it's all rubble now.
Okay. We obviously need to take a minute. I don't know how safe it is here.
As you say that, you hear over the sound of the waves and kind of the quietening of the rubble. You hear, "Hey, guys!"
Do I recognize the voice?
It's Kyra.
Okay.
With Magus saying like the city isn't safe, like you see Shade's like combat mind click in, and he's like, repress everything, and just kind of his breathing slows, and he's like, yes, now where we need to go, where?
Shade, as you
what's
kind of
next?
start to scan the horizon, you and Magus, you see down in the water below you is a small rowboat, and Kyra and Hercules, the red panda, are in the rowboat, and she's waving.
Does she have the Ultria with her?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
That was my question too.
So we left the Ultria, but we managed to save the panda.
I sold it for salt and vinegar chips.
Oh my god.
So tangy. So
Never trust the goddess of trickery.
no, but she is she's like waving for you and like pointing at a what looks like a climbable route down.
Yeah. I will go down to meet with her.
Falben's fingers are no longer frozen, and he's gonna go over to help collect any remaining pieces of rue.
Theo, you're basically almost done. The melting ice that kind of like the frost on the bits of metal mixes with just slight swirls of red from this few drops of dragon's blood that you've collected on your knuckles as Falben approaches to help you.
I look down at my hands and say, not nearly enough. There should be more. There will be more. And I'll carefully take every piece and put it into a bag. And I'll just quietly be saying, not again.
Okay. So after a few minutes, you guys are able to make the climb down and step into the boat as it rocks pretty violently back and forth. You guys are kind of in between these rocky outcroppings. The tides are very rough, and Hercules is not having a great time. But
I take him up in like my arms and like put like on my shoulders sort of thing.
okay, yeah. Roll a animal handling check at advantage.
Oh boy.
We have faith in you.
Whew. 18. Yeah. He recognizes you as his most familiar face, and seems to jump to your arms as you reach out. And he kind of gets up on your shoulder, and yeah. So Kyra starts paddling immediately as soon as you guys are in. Anybody who wants to help paddle can.
Shade would.
Okay.
He would throw himself into paddling.
Okay, cool. I think she maybe sees your kind of like intent, and she scoots aside. She says, "Maybe I let you do that, Shade." But she seems out of breath. She seems kind of not in her best spirits. I said, "What happened?"
Oh, a lot of things happened. We need time to rest and process. We heard that Proximo was coming for us. How safe is the city?
It's just that Valus sent me after you. King Castus, he's put out a warrant for your arrest. Proximo, he's very close with certain members of the Senate, and they were sympathetic to him after what happened at the market. He'll stand trial for the evidence you found, but the king has publicly decried you as lawless troublemakers, despite your heroics during the hurricane.
Shade just leans into the oars. Just
the oars bend slightly as you row.
Quick question. We never got a chance to retrieve the minotaurs that we rescued and sent to like underground areas, or Bullbug. Correct?
That is true.
Okay.
Although, at least Shade, I believe, gave them instructions on how to contact the Iron Sentinels.
Okay.
So you would assume if they don't hear from you, they would follow that route. Although they're probably wanted as well.
Right. Okay. I am going, like... Kyra?
Yes?
I heard you speaking with Boreas a little bit as I left. What do you think the mood toward us is among the satyrs?
Oh shit. That's a really good question. I think she's unsure. I think you guys left them on a bad note, but
right.
It might be, there might not be anywhere immediately close to the city that is safe, because if you're wanted, Magus, then they'll know to look at your family's place.
Yeah.
You're beginning to round the island where the Colossus of Pythor is, and Kyra kind of looks to all of you, because if we're making a turn into the city, this is where we make it.
I think it's best that we don't return to the city as of now. I can send at least a message to someone inside the city to maybe arrange some stuff. If you can just get us to shore, or close to shore, I can make a safe place for us, at least for the night.
Yeah, Shade,
What do you want?
Yeah, you're. Oh, ooh.
I will direct toward the shore alongside like the vineyard
Kind of like,
area.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah,
And
that's
it just so happens to fit with my background, where I can automatically find a safe route to land a boat on shore.
no
provided
kidding.
Such a route exists.
That's cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna say like, yeah, you're able to kind of navigate the currents and stay ahead of like the riptide, avoid any large rocks, and yeah, you go about a mile upshore from the eastern wall of Mytros, and you're able to find a little inlet and bring her in.
Okay. And now, DM,
Yes.
I would like to ask the question of: can I concentrate on a spell and ritual cast a different spell at the same time?
Does a ritual spell count as concentration?
I don't think so.
Can you post?
Like, I don't think I can do. I don't think I can perform any other action while doing the ritual spell. But, like, if I'm concentrating on one spell, I can cast another instantaneous spell at the same time.
Yeah. I think as long as the ritual spell is not in itself a concentration spell, then yeah, I think you're okay.
Okay. Then I would like to do something a little bit different. I would like to find a spot in the inlet that is about 10 feet underwater. I want at least 10 feet deep of water.
Okay.
And I want it like just kind of like a flat sandy area.
Okay.
And I'm going to do two things. And I'm going to say, come down and meet me in about 10 minutes. Trust me, the water will be fine. And I am going to first cast Alter Self on myself and change into a fish person.
As you do.
And I'm going to on the ocean floor in this inlet. I am going to ritual cast Liamid's tiny hut.
Sick. For me, you broke up a little bit during the first half of your description. What was it before casting Lehman's tiny hut?
So, as a fish person, I'm going down to the bottom of the sea. So, probably like 15 feet down. Mm-hmm. And I cast Liamid's tiny hut. So there's an underwater dome that only we can enter, and I make the exterior of the dome the same color as the ocean.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you guys in the boat, you feel a surge of water. The boat kind of lifts and rocks a little side to side as there's a sudden displacement. Not quite a Sidon's kiss, but you know.
I mean, how could it be?
And you look down and you don't really see anything out of the ordinary, because it is disguised. But you wait the required 10 minutes.
I can send messages up and tell them, like, to direct them to come down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after 5 feet of water, you'll be in the hut.
Falben goes. He needs to lay down. He's not second guessing these weird shenanigans.
Your snakes all hold their breath, and you dive down under the water and then plop into the dry. Like it's like
Yes,
wet.
actually.
It's like wet sand, I guess, like kind of beneath you. But it is dry, and there is air enough to breathe for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
It is like perfectly temperature controlled and like, yep.
Magic is awesome.
Yeah.
Theo.
I like to think you would have made it like warmer than average and drier than average to like,
Yeah.
help people recover from being almost frozen to death.
Once Falben gets inside, he just kind of shakes his head and says, "Magic is awesome." And then he
I
lays,
know, right?
he lays on a bedroll and he's like, "Go to bed."
Good night. Kyra is about to. Actually, she says, "I'll paddle the boat a bit away." Theo, do you want to go ahead and get in?
Join them.
And as she's paddling away, she doesn't know what happened to Rue, and like she doesn't see him. She's, "Where's Rue, by the way?" She paddles away, and then the sea covers any sound. And a few minutes later, she swims in with the bassinet.
Jade would have jumped in too, by the way.
Oh, right. I assumed you would. Cool. So you guys are in this hut.
I will also use my new 4th level spell slot to cast Sending.
Okay.
And I will contact my friend. So, like, one moment while I open up my social network.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm going to contact Bemis.
The bouncer at the Satyr's Tail. Yep. Who
Yes.
he let you take an hour and hide in a closet while you copied down Proximo's notebook.
Yeah. And like he knows how to get around the Undertown, and I know that he does. Like he also joined me in like coming to blows against people in the Minotaur Market.
A sympathizer, as it were.
Yes. And so I will say, we're on the run. Innocent Minotaurs need help getting out. Local cop Warren Reese may help.
That's my boy.
And I will also, and then I will explain like where the Minotaurs are hiding.
I like how this is ancient Greece, and we're just calling him a cop. Like, yeah.
Same thing.
City officer of the watch. That's short.
There it
for
is.
Cop,
Oh my
right?
god.
Yeah.
Wait. Where's the P? Where's the P in there?
It shortens to cow.
I would have believed you.
Well, they thought that was a terrible nickname, so instead of pigs, they're cows in this town.
We gotta find a way to make this acronym COP. It's simply too good. So, okay. So you tell Bemis, your friend who works at the Satyr's Tail and is sympathetic to the plight of the Minotaurs, that there are Minotaurs who need help getting out?
Yep, getting out of the
Getting out of the city, and that Warren Reese might be able to help.
Might be able to help, and yeah, I will tell him where they are.
Okay. And he'll respond with a mix of concern for your safety, but also a little bit of excitement in that, like, he is getting to maybe take action on the thing that he's been, feeling like he couldn't really do anything about. So basically, you get a for sure, buddy. Over and out.
All right. I have one first level spell left after today. I am just about tapped.
Any RP you guys want to happen, let's do that, and then let's go over plans for moving forward.
I will go over to Shade.
He's not far away.
Yep. And I will basically just say, need to talk, fight, time alone.
Shade would just kind of like blink a few times as if he's like suddenly realizing where he's at. As weird it is to say, I think I just need some time. I've had 500 years, and now I need time. I think I just need time to process, I think. But thank you.
Reach up and pat his shoulder.
Falben snores a little bit.
I will start recounting to Kyra the events of, like, since we left for the auction.
Okay. She exhibits a lot of emotions. Surprise, confusion, shock, awe, grief as you relay what happened to Rue, and then she sees the bag with like the kind of pointy bits of metal kind of protruding through the leather. She like she's listening to you, but as soon as you say that bit, she looks and is just kind of looking at Theo. What is Theo doing?
Theo kind of has a glazed look over his face, like he's in shock and just can't believe that this happened to someone that he was promised to take care of, and for it not to happen again, and his friend that he's always had and has only been the one companion that he's had ever since he was a kid in an environment where people didn't accept him, and he's always been there and always had Theo's back, but now Theo couldn't save him when he really needed him. So
she looks on you with the most compassion I think any of you have ever seen her show. It is very genuine. She reaches into her traveling bag, and a glint of golden light kind of paints the ceiling of the tiny hut as she opens the flap, and what's the word for like pulls something out of a bag? There's a word
pull
for it.
something out of a bag?
Sure.
Withdraws,
yeah. Withdraws this golden gleaming scroll of resurrection, and she holds it outstretched to you, kind of crouched down, like really with you in your space, in your bubble, inside this bubble, and she says, Rue was one of us just as much as any of us, and this is his if you think it right.
is where we start getting into mechanics.
Is it?
So, Rue has the spark.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that is...
I think I see where you're going with this. Because
Can
normally you can
Does
just...
it have to have a resurrection scroll to be
Right.
stoked again, or does another process have to be done to imbue a separate body with the spark?
Yeah, so I think the rules and mechanics as written are for a mundane Stimfey, just like Makaira has, just like many of the Amazons have. Rue is special in that his sentience comes from your spirit essence, which is something not cheaply provided. I'm going to say in this case, since he was killed in such an outright way, you can rebuild him and he will be a loyal, obedient Stimfey. Just as combat effective, but he won't be Rue.
I'll be like, yeah, give him my scroll.
She smiles. I think roll an insight check at advantage.
Insight.
Go ahead and roll that one more time. Yep. Mm-hmm. 23. She seems inspired by this. I think you get the feeling that you didn't make this choice idly. You made it because Rue is your friend and means the world to you. And to you, he is not just a toy that can think and say funny things. He is just as real, just as human, whatever, as the rest of you. And she can feel that, and you can feel her acknowledgement of that. And she starts the process. And you guys, the rest of you, if you weren't aware of what was going on, you can see this light begin to flood the dome. And you're glad that the outside is disguised, because if it wasn't, you would be a glowing beacon even 15 feet beneath the waves. And about... I can't remember how long we had it take the last time. Wait, have we used a scroll?
Yeah.
For what?
No.
Wait, why am I not remembering? No. Because
in fact, we found an extra one.
No, because for Boreas, like not a party member, right? I can't remember how long I said it took. Maybe 10 minutes. And as the ritual is happening, this light is kind of obfuscating the details of what is happening, but you can feel this. I'm assuming, do you pour him out of the bag, or
Try to arrange him, get him back into some semblance.
So you make this like mosaic of Rue in the wet sand floor beneath your feet, and the sand kind of like starts to move and shift and like line the pieces up, and you can see these like searing white lights happen as the pieces join, and like eventually, once the form is like almost entirely together, there are twitches and gears start to spin and whir, and then at the last minute, the eyelids that you so carefully crafted, even though they weren't technically necessary when you built him, pop open and blink a few times, and he says, "That was cold."
And I'll say, let me warm you up, and I'll give him a hug.
And he hugs you back. Yeah, and you guys are now down another resurrection scroll.
Question, DM.
Yeah.
So the dome stays up for 8 hours.
Okay.
As an elf, I can take a long rest in 4 hours.
Yeah, sure.
Can I take a long rest, shoot off some sending spells, and then take another long rest?
I think the rule is you can only gain the benefits of one long rest per 24 hours.
Interesting.
Let me double check.
Right.
A character cannot benefit from more than one long rest in a 24-hour period.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I may have done some shenanigans with that earlier, but I guess I can't anymore. Okay.
Now we know.
In that case, I will take a
Actually, what we need to do
rest.
is go back and retcon what would have happened had you not taken those long rests. So we're going to need to take some detailed notes here
Right,
and
yeah, okay,
adjust everything.
It turns out, and suddenly all of us are dead at the bottom of the sea.
Yep.
So I will use Arcane Recovery after a short rest to recover 1/3 level spell.
Okay.
And I will use Sending again.
Okay.
And I will contact Adrian.
Okay. Oh, your brother.
Yep.
Um,
And I will tell him we are safe, but fleeing. They may come. Guards may come asking around the house, but you shouldn't be in danger.
okay.
We may try to leave a present with, okay, I'm not,
A what?
I'm also going to, looking up friends, with Egan at the baths.
A present? Oh, the gloves. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And, yeah, like, whatever you choose, I'm sure you'll be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, he responds with a few words of concern, but also, like, it seems like you guys came to a pretty solid understanding about the risks that your family was moving into in the near future.
Yep.
So he appreciates you saying that, and he confirms that he'll reach out to Egan, and he doesn't ask where you're going.
All right, and then I begin my long rest.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and take the benefits of a long rest. I know it lasts for 8 hours, but like your long rest started once you got in here. So everybody go ahead and get long rested. That puts us into the next day. At about 6:30. Yeah, 6:30 in the morning on Volcus the 4th. Who's the first to wake up? Doesn't matter.
I've heard that.
Okay, that'd be me, because
I guess that's Magus. Who's the second to wake up?
And Shade would probably be fairly restless, but I feel like Falben just would be the type to wake up once somebody else is up type of thing. But that's just me.
Something about them sneaking up on me in the forest and stuff. Anyways, that's a story.
Right.
Yeah. Sure. Falben wakes up second.
Cool. Again, I said it didn't matter. I'm just curious to see who volunteered. But yeah, so Magus, you know that the spell is coming close to being over. So what's the plan?
I guess, well, all right, the spell's about to be over. Stuff Hercules in the bassinet, close the lid, and everybody get ready to swim.
Cool.
One thing. Shade would take a knee and just say, "Give me a second." And you see his echo like come out of him, and would like walk through the water wall, and then you see Shade's eyes effectively just turn to clouds of smoke, and his ears, like there's like smoke coming out of his ears, and just his voice kind of like, you know, when you can't hear anything, just, "I'm gonna take a look around outside real quick." And the echo walks through the water, and he's gonna like just come out on the shore and look around.
Smoke coming out of your ears. I love that as a visual for like you, like your hearing sensation from your echo. Yeah, so you're like a mile up the shore, up the coast from the eastern wall of Mytros. And you're kind of in an unplotted piece of land. There's just kind of like mixed grasses, a kind of a pebbly beach with seashells. You can see far up to the north there are the hills with just square miles of vineyards. But you're in a very kind of remote, close but remote place. It's mostly farmland out here.
I don't see anybody like nearby.
No, you can see Mytros off in the distance. I mean, it's a huge city, but it's far enough away that like you can't see individual people moving around, and they likely cannot see you. But still, you know, maybe not a terrible idea to move low and
right,
quiet.
Shade'll let his echo go, and just like see it just snap back. Smoke dissipates, like the little tendrils of smoke. All right, seems like we're clear. Let's go. So I guess we jump out of the hut.
Kyra wastes no time. She sprints up onto the shore and kind of squeezes the water out of her skirt, takes her boots off, kind of kicks out the water, and she starts to like get into like a running stance, and then she's like, "Oh wait, no, you guys are very slow. I forget that sometimes."
Just rub it in.
Oh, wait.
I mean, I haven't lost a race to you, yet.
Lost. It's.
I have lost it to a rake, but not to you.
To a rake.
Falben actually laughed out loud when that happened.
When you like Looney Tunes stepped on the rake. Yeah. What's Theo's mood like now that Rue's back?
You know, he's definitely happy to have his friend back, but he's also like contemplative of like, how do I this not happen again?
Do you tell Rue how you brought him back?
I would, unless it came up, I wouldn't. And if it did, I would just say that I don't think I would.
Okay. Shade, where are you keeping Gaius's mask?
Right now I just would have put it in my pack.
Okay. it's like you have other heavy things in your pack. You've got a sledgehammer, you've got, you know, pythons, you've got all kinds of stuff. And it's not like this is heavier than that. And really, like, physics-wise, there's nothing special happening. But your mind is just continually focused on where it is in your pack.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it feels like it weighs a ton.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so where are you guys going?
Well,
I will say the other thing that you are very aware of is the Goblin of Malta in your bag.
Yeah, we're always aware of that.
As well as the wooden the wooden case that contains the map to the last known location of the Ultros.
I think that fate has nudged us along on the way. I think it's time we saw where that map goes.
We do have an oath to fulfill.
And besides, Acasta seems to be someone who is very dependent upon the good, like the popularity of the people. So if we sail into Mytros Harbor on the Ultros as big damn heroes, I think it'll make it a lot harder for him to move against us. At least publicly.
Kyra smiles. I agree. Well, I'm dying to take a look at this. Magus, roll an insight check.
Uh-oh.
She's literally dying.
For real this time. You can see kind of a bead of sweat forming on her brow. She's pretending to be excited about opening it.
Or if all of us need to take a moment.
She furrows her brow and, well, if you're not going to open it, then I will. No, it's not my job. Please, somebody open it. Just let's see what's inside.
Well, if we're gonna have to travel, we need to know what direction we're going.
God, I'm putting that on the quote wall. That's brilliant. No, I'm not.
I mean, Magus disagrees on principle, but whatever.
Oh boy.
Who opens the thing with the map to the Ultros?
I mean, if
Shade'll do it.
if there's a pause, like, yeah, Magus would do it too. Like, I guess together.
Both of you roll
Team
your
effort.
initiatives, unless you open it together.
I mean, or is there what? Is there just like a single latch?
Yeah, sure. It's however many
All right.
latches you want.
So there's like Kyra's like, I don't know, maybe I, and then like all of a sudden Shade and Magus are like, me.
Together, you're a half-elf hand on one side and a black and white furred Leonin hand on the other. Grip the finely carved wooden lid to this box.
Rip it open!
Rip it open!
Oh my god.
And I look to Falben and say, like, hey, in worst case scenario, I guess it's time I said hi to my grandfather. And I open the chest.
You open the chest, and there is a scroll, parchment scroll inside.
All right. Open the scroll.
You open it. So this parchment is not watermarked, but you Shade, you probably recognize it as parchment that the King's Guard of Mytros would use. And this appears to be an intelligence report from scouts. And the body of the message opens with, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." It is a map. There's no sir. I just wanted to say, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." It leads you. Actually, hold on. There's actually a written description of what this says. Maybe I should read that instead of just. I swear I have.
And fix it after the fact.
It's the map to the Wendy's. That's what it is.
It says Ramirez, defend that Burger Town. So that's a little Modern Warfare 2 reference. It is a map with a route that leads north through the eastern heartlands, fairly close to where you fought the boar long ago, and continues north into the rocky wastelands near the Dead Falls.
Sounds inviting.
That's all that's in there.
Oh, all right.
I mean, there's a coupon
Not the
for
first time we've been
6-piece
on the
spicy
road.
nuggets, but Is it obvious that I'm hungry and I would like some Wendy's? Could someone please give me some Wendy's? Give me Wendy's needing a lot. Wendy's me now, please. So let's have everybody roll a history check, please.
History.
Downward history.
That's a 9 from Shade, a 12 from Magus, a 12 from Falben, and an 11 from
I
Theo.
would like to add my bardic.
Okay, roll a d6. Making it a 15. Yes.
And I'll also roll my bardic.
Okay, roll your d6. Making Falben's a 16. Okay. So, any other modifications? Anyway, Falben and Magus, you guys recognize the name of the Dead Falls. It's not something people know much about. It is it's a legend more than anything. Some say that it's strange things happen there. People say the rocks scream like harpies, and those who venture to the river's end never return. Few even say that it's one of the pathways to the underworld.
Great.
I will also give you, just for those listening, as a very nutshell recap, y'all have all heard stories of the Ultros. It was once captained by Estor Archelander, the Dragonlord, leader of a savage and bloodthirsty crew. He ravaged the islands of Thelia, leaving slaughter in his wake. Sidon unleashed his full fury against the vessel, attempting to smash it with 100-foot waves and drag it down to the bottom of the sea with terrifying whirlpools. But the magic of the Ultros was so powerful that not even the Lord of Storms could sink it. The ship and its crew went missing several years after the end of the First War. And some say you cannot brave the waters of the Forgotten Sea without it. That's my lord up.
Huh. Well, I would look over to the rest of the group and I would be like, how would Falben say this? There is a chance that we are heading to the entrance of the underworld. I would mention some of these rumors and lore around this location.
Okay. Underworld bad. Scary. Spooky.
I mean, the Hellhound pup didn't like to go back.
That's true.
I mean, it went the long way, but...
That's true.
He had it coming.
What a memorable
thing
moment.
about that.
Yeah. Funny thing about that.
Entrances also imply an exit.
Both ways.
Quote wall.
Is that like a
That was
fancy
pretty
way?
awesome. Like, did you guys hear that?
What?
Did it come through? There was like thunder outside
Oh,
my window right
no.
after I said that.
I didn't hear it. Oh, that is cool. Wait, can you make the sound of the thunder?
No.
Man, I would do it. Come on. Hey, it's me, Thunder, kaboom, you know, like that. That's what it sounds like. Okay, so you know the path. Are you a bad enough collection of dudes to take the path and rescue the president?
Ooh, question.
Yeah.
About how many days of travel is this? Would I estimate this to be?
Less than 5.
And how many days until the Ultria awakens?
Oh, let's see. Well, it is the 4th, and the Ultria awakens on the 8th, which is 4 days away.
Less than 5. This could be very appropriate. Let's go.
And so you know, I have been like keeping very close track on the actual time and date for like probably the last like 20 sessions. So like the aging, the gestation process of the Ultria sprout has been locked by the rules, and I am not narratively budging that. So where it is now is where it is because of what you guys have done. So I think that's really cool. Anyway.
Shade at least would say we might have some last minute business to try and finish up before we hit the road, if any, but we're effectively oath bound to head down this, so.
You mean like trying not to get caught last minute business, or?
I don't know. Is there anything else we need to try and intel we need to try and nab from Mytros, or any supplies before we just start walking?
The gloves that you got for my brother.
Oh yeah. At least
Are those in your possession currently?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got those.
Cool.
So, Magus, you're not too far from your family farm. You could potentially like hide it somewhere around here and send him a message to know where to pick it up.
Oh. Yeah, that might be the safer than trying to send it back into the city.
I'm just want to let you guys know if you
I see
venture
one of those
back into the
high keys over there.
city, it's going to be a cat and mouse thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is totally good, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy.
No,
And then the party decided to never leave.
yeah, I think finding I will express to the group that I want to find a place to dead drop these, and then direct my brother to retrieve them later once we're gone. And I will start looking around for a place that is easy for me to describe.
Sure. Yeah.
To put them.
Yeah, there is, well, I'll let you describe to me. I mean, you're in kind of the lowlands, just or like between the coast and the vineyards. It's too salty, and like the ground isn't quite right for grapes here. So there's just kind of like uncultivated land, mostly grasslands, between here and the vineyards.
So I will. Yeah, you said this isn't too far from.
Yeah, you're probably 5 miles from your house.
Yeah. So I will find like a notable like stone wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's been piled up about like an intersection that both of us would know about.
Sure.
And halfway along that stone wall, you will find a rock that doesn't belong there.
Okay.
And yeah, I will like probably like there's a stone wall and then it goes past this tree. And the first tree it goes past, like there's this location, and I will hide it in there.
Perfect.
I love the Shawshank quote.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I didn't even catch it. Nice. I've actually never seen Shawshank Redemption. But
It's a good movie.
it's the movie that I have said, I've never seen that movie the most out of any movie in the world. I say it about 20 times a year, probably. I've never seen Shawshank Redemption. The prison where they filmed it is just north of me here in Ohio. So what I plan to do is go to the prison, tour it, and then come back and watch it one of these days.
Not occupy it? That's a good call.
I could do that. I could maybe
like to go to prison.
go to prison,
Yeah, like,
get
I
arrested.
suggest watching the movie first so you know how to get out.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
brilliant. I just dig out the poop tunnel, right? That's all I do. I just find where the poop goes.
Just like write that on your palm, like
Yep.
dig out the poop.
Dig
tunnel,
out-
and you'll be good.
Find the poop.
Watch out for the trash monster.
Yeah. Okay. Any other business to wrap up in the vicinity of Mytros?
Shade would check with Magus that we have some way of letting the Minotaurs know that they need to get out.
Well, he already did contact Bemis
yeah.
to find them.
I will tell him like it's all right. I've talked to some of my friends. It's being arranged.
Good.
Guys, I'm so proud of y'all. Okay. Well, if there's not anything else, you all kind of like travel north, looking to eventually link up with the main road that leads up into the Eastern Heartlands. But you're going to be traveling cross country for a little bit. You do kind of cross through the vineyard territory, and I'll just roll a little roll over here, just a little itty bitty.
Not that it means.
Yeah, not that it matters.
Okay.
Yeah, not that it matters.
You did good. So you actually don't come across the commune of satyrs. They likely wouldn't be happy to see you, but
Me.
they're sleeping or something, and
They're gallivanting.
I know. Magus knows where they are and leads us around them.
sure, that works too. So you continue over the hills, and you eventually get your last glimpse of the city of Mytros. Any parting thoughts as you crest the final hill? Cool.
A moment of
I
silence.
think Magus will look back and kind of say to himself, "It's like you test me. When I come back, I'm gonna be even more awesome."
That's pretty good. Let's go over to the just to the world map.
Haven't been there in a while.
Right? had to like move your tokens because they were in the wrong spot. So, God, actually, where is it? Hold on one second. Oh, so the map it takes you north, but then you eventually you go around the old woods, and then link up with the river, the Dead Falls being here. A lot of rivers flow to the sea. This one doesn't. So if you want to, you can cut straight through the old woods, but it's likely going to be a lot slower and more dangerous.
Well, considering we made an oath with Demetria, that we wouldn't go through the old woods.
That is
we
true.
Shouldn't do that.
Look at that. That's a freaking episode 9 or something callback. That's like literally a year ago.
Did we say we wouldn't enter the old woods?
I'm pretty sure we said at least we would keep all mortals out of stay out of the old woods to prevent any basically interaction to cause issues.
We're not.
I don't think that was part of the oath. I think the oath was like, I think that was just general responsibility. Because part of it was also like, if mortals interfered with the old wood could defend itself.
Right.
But it wouldn't extend.
Yeah, you guys don't have peace with most of the denizens of the old wood.
Right.
You do with the maenads that are under Demetria.
I know, but at least part of the agreement around it was we were supposed to leave the old wood as soon as we could.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's more maybe not to the letter, but it was part of the intent.
Yeah. And also, it sounds like it's more dangerous and takes longer.
Yep.
So
it would probably double the travel time.
More XP.
That's not. We're doing milestone leveling. You know this. Oh man. Ooh, wait. I just got a private chat. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Falben, that is yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. Okay, so
all of our backs are turned.
No, he just wanted to know about yours.
He started using the back of the line, working his way forward, one sneak attack after another.
Finally, get rid of these guys.
So after you crest this hill, which conceals Mytros from view for the remainder of your voyage forward, you all experience a collective vision. Or you hear a voice all at the same time. Within those walls, you were safe. But beyond them, death has been waiting, growing. Your pathetic weapons are sharp enough to kill. But every life you take is a gift given. A gift of fresh clay to the master sculptor. And then the vision fades.
Well, that's not.
That was Lutheria, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, and she said, "Oh, and hi, Falben."
Oh my God.
Call me.
Hey,
XO.
die really quick. Magus, a knife drops at your feet. Yes.
Oh my God.
I turn to the rest and say, like, she must really like that shambling mound shrubbery we sent to her.
Yeah, the Sturges, and I guess those the piercers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, get some of that like proboscis tea.
Exactly what I'm saying. Get on board with that basket.
So you travel north for like a day. Do you guys do anything in this first day?
Yeah. I would mention. I guess. So first of all, I would mention that I harvested some things from the Shambling Mound. And I guess, would I have knowledge of what they craft into? As a player?
Yeah, because you did the appraisal, and that basically is you, like, seeing these parts and then having an eye for, like, you know what, I bet you could make a thing, or I bet if I took it to this person, they could make something out of it. You may not know exactly what it comes out to, but it's like, oh, this piece of wood could form a staff, or like this whatever, this cloak, gotcha. Or this pelt could form a cloak, but you may not know, your character may not know exactly what it makes.
Well, then, as we're walking, one of the things I would do is I'd grab the root stem that I harvested from the Shambling Mound.
Would you like to read the description of what that root stem was? So we're kind of retconning. During the end of last session, Falben did make intentions known that he wanted to harvest some interesting bits from the Shambling Mound before he left the tunnel. And we did roll some of that earlier, and he did roll very well and was able to extract some pretty good stuff. So go ahead and
the goodies.
Yeah.
The item we're talking about right now is the root stem, and the root stem of the Shambling Mound is actually the entirety of its being, in the same way that a humanoid's brain is the entirety of theirs. It is prized in medicine for its regenerative properties, and at the same time prized in necromantic schools for its decaying and consuming properties. It is rare and difficult to find, and I know that in the hands of an artificer, it could turn into something wonderful. So I'm going to mention this to Theo, share my thoughts about it, and hand him the root stem.
Wow, and it instantly turns into something wonderful.
Because it's in the hands of an artificer.
Exactly.
It's a Grimace shake. Happy birthday, Grimace.
Theo instantly dies.
Nice.
I'll be like, all right, I'll see what I can go up with.
No, yeah, you can sense, like, you're not used to working with organic material, but you can sense this, like, kind of raw magical potential in it. And yeah, we'll come up with like a time frame for crafting, but if you're willing to craft it, then we'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like a whip item to me. I hear that Magus likes those.
Magus does have that whip.
I didn't get a chance to sell that yet. No.
You've still got that succubus whip.
Out of town.
Secret master of pleasure.
And here I'm thinking, like, this seems like would be a great upgrade for Rue.
Yes.
What are y'all talking about?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What do you think it could be made out of or made into?
No, just don't pull that lever.
Okay, we won't pull that lever. Theo has agreed to craft this root stem from the Shambling Mound.
Sweet.
Cool. It's starting to get close to end of day. Everyone make a perception check. And you guys are kind of just traveling along the Mithril Mountains that terminate at the coast where the city of Mytros is. You're traveling north along their eastern border. Let's see. So Falben, you got definitely the highest roll with a 22. You're always kind of looking behind you, like more than anybody else in the party. I mean, since the beginning. One
time. Yeah.
Yeah. And you notice a kind of a dark cloud on the horizon, sort of to the southeast of you, kind of like over here, something like that. And this isn't the first time you've seen this cloud. I don't know if you remember, but before you reached Mytros, right after you left the necropolis, there was a dark cloud, seemingly made up of hundreds of, maybe even thousands of birds, and this seems to be a similar, larger cloud.
So I would share. I don't remember what those were called, but these flying dark creatures from before, and
Burbs?
I would burbs, and I would say we really need to find some place to hide, like now, so that we're not seen.
Let's hide.
Okay.
Hide, you fools!
Let's
I'm just
make a
saying Lord of the Rings
group
right now.
a group survival check for finding appropriate cover to hide in. Survival or stealth, either is fine, whichever you prefer.
Well, we know which one I prefer.
I think so. It's a 23 from Shade, a 27 stealth from Falben.
I feel like I could be a survivor.
A 16 from Magus
dice.
and a 15 from Theo. Yeah, you guys all do really good job. Theo and Shade, you guys look for some trees with some very thick kind of under like lower branches, and you're able to form some pretty solid cover. Magus and Falben, you know, just turn invisible or something.
Yeah.
Because magic is awesome.
Yeah.
I think I actually do. I just invisible.
And we'll say that Lord of the Rings style, you know, Fellowship of the Ring style, after about 3 hours, you guys wait a long time hidden. They do end up passing pretty close to where you were, not exactly where you were, kind of circling the vicinity of like a square mile, and then heading off in kind of a northeasterly direction.
Falben
Do I
makes
know
like
anything about these?
About birds? Well, they're not real. They're government agents. That's really all there is to know. Don't trust them.
Know anything else?
They recharge on power lines.
Yeah. I mean, so what specifically?
Like, am I aware of like any kind of like evil type of spy birds that have been like travel in these kinds of groups?
Roll either a I guess a nature check would be appropriate.
Aw.
Or unless you can convince me of another skill, which I'm totally open to.
I'm specifically looking for agents of higher powers, so I'm looking for a religion check.
Sure, yeah. In terms of like spies for the Titans or something, yeah, that seems cool. Yeah. Roll it. It's a 21. God, that's a great modifier. So you have not heard of this being a common practice. You know that Lutheria uses spies, and you know she manipulates beasts and stuff. But this format is unusual. This like collective, although it is reminiscent of the mountain of rats that you guys fought in Astoria. Right. In terms of like a bunch of one creature kind of moving around as a collective group with intent.
Okay. I mean, it might be a Lutheria thing, but I don't know of her doing this before.
This is player talk, but didn't somebody roll a high enough perception to see like some of the birds were dead last time?
Oh man, you remembered that too. Oh man. Yes, I do believe you're right. God, I'm so impressed. Please take an inspiration for your amazing like IRL game memory. That's insane. Also for your really good role play earlier. Damn. Okay. Yes, I can't remember if it was Theo or Falben, but one of you noticed that at least some of the birds were like clearly dead and still flying.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
definitely a
that's
Lutheria thing.
it's pretty normal though. I mean,
Yeah, zombie bird.
We've already established they're
for
government
chit-chat?
agents, so
Yeah.
it's like when you see something happen and you know that it's completely abnormal and strange, but the person looks at you because it's all they've ever known. They're like, "This is normal."
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird
birds
about it?
enter dreadnought phase where they serve beyond death, like Astartes,
Yeah.
What else would they do?
Oh, I know just enough about Warhammer to know what you're talking about. Wow. Yeah. So that's
Even in death,
Even-
I serve.
I love it. I mean, kinda. That's sort of what's happening. Whether they will to or not. Yeah. So, putting these clues together, this is probably a swarm of undead birds controlled by Lutheria. And they're looking
Fun.
for you.
So is the coast clear now?
Yeah, they have moved on, and they're out of eyesight.
Falben makes like a bird call and leaves hiding.
They come back immediately and kill you in one hit.
In one hit.
One hit. A single blow.
Bruce says, "You call that a call?"
You would know. Okay, so first night, who's taking watch?
So, or like, I have a dome, but I guess
That's true.
extra camouflage on the dome.
Hey, with dead birds around.
Yeah. I mean, if people want to keep watch, sure, because we can see out of it.
Yeah, it'd be good to still keep watch.
I set up the dome and also pass out my 4 nets to like do like camouflage cover over it.
Okay, yeah, sweet. There's still enough so that you can see out the top. And Kyra will tell you a story of one of the constellations. I'm trying to remember which ones we have already gone over. I think we've gone over the one. Do we do the Island of Yonder? I don't think we
No.
I don't think we did. Maybe we'll do that one because you guys were told recently about the Island of Yonder being the home base for the Order of Sidon. So Kyra points up and she points at the constellation of the Gaigan. It's pretty easy, it's just like a stick figure but with 6 arms. And she says, when the Dragonlords first arrived, there was much strife between the newcomers, well, Shade, you know this, and the native races of Thelia. Blood was spilled, but none reveled in the slaughter of warfare as much as Estor Archelander. I'm sure we're tired of hearing about that. In one brutal battle, he wiped out every Gaigan warrior to the last. After the massacre, the children of the Gaigans prayed to Sidon and Lutheria for protection. Moved by their plight, the great titans rallied the centaurs, the nymphs, all the native races. They attacked the settlements of the Dragonlords across the islands in retaliation for Estor's crimes. And the First War began.
I will pull out like Estor's helm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and we're gonna have to fix it.
I know you will. We all will. Or you all will. I'm just writing it down.
I don't know. The time may come for the goddess of trickery to do a bit more than that.
Perhaps. I hope it will be easier, though, and I can simply sit back and reap the rewards of your bravery. Cool. Anything before we pass the night?
Yes, several things.
Okay. Cool.
Because all throughout our stay in Mytros, I have been meaning to be sending messages at night and forgetting to.
Oh, sure.
So
Right. Yeah, okay. Hit me. I'm not ready.
First sending is going to be to Silas. And checking back in.
The headmaster of the Iron Sentinels branch in Astoria.
And I'm going to ask if Graxus has shown up, if he's behaving himself, and I am also going to let him know that there are some more Minotaurs coming his way.
Right. So in the limited response, Silas expresses confusion as to what you're talking about. Says he doesn't know anybody by the name of Graxus. But that he did.
The last time I sent him a message, I did send. I did tell him, like, hey, there's this big guy that we've sent your way, and so he would know who I'm talking about.
Okay, so he says instead, like, oh, Graxus. Oh no, he never showed up. I just assumed you sent him somewhere else.
Oh, good.
He's probably fine.
But he does confirm that he received a messenger bird or a messenger, a courier, indicating that the Minotaurs had been rallied and they'd basically made it to the Iron Sentinels office in Mytros and were being the plan to get them out of the city was being handled.
Okay. All right. Second sending is to Graxus.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So, we have heard you have not returned. You've chosen not to go to Astoria. We hope that you continue in non-aggression. But if you feel a need, and I will pull out the copy that I made of Proximo's notebook.
Okay.
And I will that has the names of his mercenary groups and their locations.
Black Hands of Kentamane.
The Black Hands of Kentamane. Pillage and enslave Minotaurs. One of them is here.
Here being in Mytros?
No, just because Proximo's notebook had, like you said, it had locations.
Oh, one of them is insert location here. Got it.
Yeah, insert location here.
Okay. You don't get a response.
Interesting. All right, we may have. I will relay to the group. Graxus never checked in with Silas. We may have to deal with that later. And he didn't respond to a message.
Well then.
Don't worry about it. It's just a giant minotaur with a giant double-headed great axe who thirsts for blood, and his name is literally Graxus the Butcher. Nothing to worry about.
I mean, I did try to point him in a direction.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Lovely.
I'd like you guys to have at least 3 reasons to be on edge at all times.
Next message that I will send is to Adrian, and I will let him know that we've made it out of the city safely, and I will direct him to where the drop is.
Okay. He says he'll wait till nightfall and he'll go get it.
And then finally, I will use an upcast, level 4 sending. And I will send it to Lorius.
The satyr minstrel that you met at Demetria's lair.
Yes.
Okay. It says, "Hey, baby,
and
you
I
up?"
And I will tell him, unfortunately, our visit to Mytros was cut short before I could see you. Being heroes sometimes means distraction saving the world or fleeing for your lives. Right now is both. Fate's willing, we will meet again. I still have your rose.
Aw. Well, he expresses a little bit of sadness, but mostly understanding, and a little bit of inspiration. Like maybe a good song verse can come of this sort of situation. That I will consult with ChatGPT later. So, freaking Postmaster Magus over here.
Wait, this is what I do now.
That's true. I actually I keep forgetting and then remembering and then forgetting that y'all haven't touched base with Graxus in a really long time. Yeah. Anyway, wonder what he could be up to.
Then I would like to go over to Theo. And I am going to bring the Helm of Estor with me.
Oh, I'm just getting all sorts of stuff today.
No, this isn't a gift.
Look at this hat for me.
What do you think?
If you consider a project a gift, then maybe. I would like your help figuring out how to take this apart. It is a helm that is given to me, and I will eventually need to use it and have the enchantment still intact. But I don't want to use Estor's helm. I want to remake this, and I want it to be mine.
Yeah, that's, gonna be a tall order. I probably gonna need your help on magical aspects of it.
And so, wanting to embark on a, combined super identify investigation on how to take this apart and change aspects of it while maintaining the enchantment.
Perfect. Let's set a time frame for that. So, pitch me.
Might be done in 30 minutes.
Pitch me your most reasonable assessment for how long you think it might take, in the order of days.
Probably. Well, I've got other stuff that I'm doing too, so running.
You are doing other crafting right now, so I'll say it won't just be calendar days from now. It'll be per long rest. You'll need to dedicate that long rest to working on X project, Y project. I'm thinking something like 10 days.
Oh.
I was thinking.
I was thinking 5, but I have no reference.
Ooh, you'd really like to line that up with visiting the Ultros, wouldn't you?
I
was thinking 2.
Here's what we'll do. Roll a d20, and whatever number it lands on, it'll be that plus 3. Well, if it's
All right,
below
Mr.
5,
Lucky.
if it's below 5, it'll be +3.
This is
Basically,
yeah,
at
right
least
here.
3 days. Okay, so 7 days.
There you go.
Nice.
I feel like that's a good in between. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll just make it a week from today.
Well, I mean, we'll have to keep track of that. in
Can you
addition to
guys keep
if
track
the-
of that? Because I won't.
I will say yes.
Okay, if you can commit to keeping track of it, he's your dog, and you got to take care of him.
Okay.
So
You're talking.
Theo, here's this leash that I got from another theater major once. Don't ask.
Do you have the whip that goes with it?
oh god.
You don't whip a dog.
So the long rest passes uneventfully. Let's see, and we move into Volcus the Fifth. 3 days until the Ultria awakens. So second day of travel. You guys feel like you have about a day until you reach day and a half till you reach about where the Sour Vintage, the inn that you first met, is at. Which the road you're on travels past it.
I mean, hey, you guys want me to try and contact Linus tonight? Let him know we're coming through the area?
I mean, would contact with us help or hinder him?
I was just going to say hi.
We're hot stuff right now. Do we want to be drawing attention?
It's like, hey, we're a lot better at killing now. I bet we could beat you this time.
Linus, this is the guy we let live, like session
Yes.
3,
Well,
right?
let live after failing to kill him for like 4 rounds in a row. Like he should
I'm
have.
gonna say Theo tried.
This is true. This is true.
I did. I really did. And
I'm still. It lives rent free in my brain. The sound of like die, and then the crack of your gun, and the after the miss. It's so good. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
So, you travel. You start to kind of depart on an easterly course around the edge of the forest, away from the mountains. You make it to a river crossing where you find a merchant, and they have like, you know, your simple adventuring goods on hand if you want to buy anything. You can buy stuff from the adventuring guide stuff here. We don't have to like spend a lot of time on it, but like if you want to mark some stuff off, you know, after today, you can.
Probably.
Yeah.
Does he have healing potions?
He would have. Let's see. Roll a d6. He's got 4 normal healing potions.
Okay.
But they're at an upcharge. They're 75 each.
I'll buy 1.
Okay. You don't want to like kill him. just take him. You know.
maybe if he was the other guy at the other town.
Oh yeah, no, this guy's dirty. It's like he's never seen Windex in his life.
No, it's fine.
Cool.
Got
All
his
right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you buy whatever you need from him. Again, if you want to buy something later, you can do that. A couple more hours goes by. It's like mid-afternoon, and you're going full east now. Let's do another perception check. That's an 11 from Shade. 14 from Magus. I'm trying to call out the rolls more because when I listen back to this on Spotify, I'm like, I'm hearing my reaction to the rolls, but I'd like to. 20 from Theo and a 21 from Falben. Falben, you're looking behind you, and you kind of turn your head, and Theo, you hear like a concerned hiss, and you also turn your head, and the cloud has found you again, and it is closing fast.
Looks like rain.
The only problem is you're no longer immediately adjacent to the forest. You're kind of out in the open.
How long does it take to cast the hut?
10 minutes.
Well, it took a
How long does it take to cast a fireball?
Instant. How long does it take for them to go past?
Yeah.
You
How
could
far away
you
are
could
they? How
wait.
fast are they
You could
traveling?
wait about 10 minutes and get a feel for like their trajectory and speed.
I mean, based on last time, like how long? Because
Oh.
last time you said it was like 3 hours.
Right. So this distance, they are within an hour from you.
Falben, how good are you at hiding?
I'm very good at hiding.
Theo, how good are you at hiding?
I'm semi good at hiding.
All right. How about we wait, like we all try to hide until they get a little bit closer, and then as they're like get really close and start passing over us, I can make 3 of us invisible.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, we keep working it.
Yeah, so I say we all make stealth checks now, and then like when they're like 30 minutes away, I cast invisibility.
Okay.
Is my plan.
Let's see. Yeah, go ahead and make stealth checks. 12 from Shade, 22 from Magus, 25 from Falben, and need 1 from Theo. 17. You guys, you get under like boulders that you can find. Again, you're not right next to a forest. You lay down and like cover yourself with grasses. Shade, you're kind of like in a strategic position where you can see the rest of the group. What is your passive perception, Shade?
My passive is not very high. I think that is 15.
Okay. You guys wait for about 10 minutes, and no, you already did that. So, but you're waiting for them to get close and then go invisible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They get within a mile, and let's see. It's at this point. Shade, you smell something. Like,
Oh no.
your kind of like feral nose sort of takes over, and you're used to being in a position where you can sense prey, and kind of a chill goes through you, and you feel like you are the prey.
This isn't good.
So make a perception check now, like an active,
Yeah,
active
I'd
check.
be looking around for something.
The, like thousands of hairs on your neck. 17. Okay, so you kind of turn to check behind you, and you see kind of the familiar silhouette of a wolf. But it's different because it looks like it's a big wolf stitched together out of like 4 wolves. And it's just like head down, eyeing you. Steel eyes.
All right. We're invisible now?
No, I haven't cast it yet.
Okay. How close am I to the rest of the party?
You guys are all within a 50-foot area, probably.
Okay, but not necessarily close enough that I can like whisper to the other party members and be like,
I'll let y'all decide
big
that.
wolf right there. I mean, I like to think we would have tried to hide close together because I imagine Magus has to be close enough to touch us.
Oh, that's true.
I would have kept both Theo and Shade within arm's reach.
Okay, that's totally fine. You're close enough to whisper to them.
Yeah, so I would whisper to them and be like, big wolf. Looks like Lutheria's right there. And he would point to it.
Yeah,
it's looking at us.
It's looking directly at Shade.
Time for stealth has passed.
Kinda what I'm thinking.
As you get, like, you guys are looking at it, because, like, what else do you do when you see a predator just, like, staring at you like this? You have to look at it. And so you're taking in all these details that you kind of wish you didn't have to. And this thing is just, like, just effused with rot. Like, it's got one eye that's, like, leaking. Its teeth are mostly missing. Its mouth just kind of full of coagulated blood. Again, like, its pelt is just like sewn together, like literally sewn together. This is not like a freak of nature. This is like a Frankenstein of nature. So, and you eye each other for a little while. And the birds are getting closer and closer. What do you do?
Subtle spell message to Kyra. Like, you may need to take the bassinet and move very soon.
What's my signal?
When things go bad, I'm sure you're fast enough.
Okay. So you guys are gonna wait for the birds because they haven't spotted you yet, but as you guys are hiding, but they're getting closer.
Well, I mean, that's something Shade would ask Magus. It's like, if that's Lutheria's and the birds are Lutheria's, does it really matter if the birds find us if that already has?
How big is the cloud of birds?
Now that it's closer, it's about 200 feet in diameter, something like that. Densely packed.
So enough birds to skeletonize a cow, you say?
Probably many cows.
Yeah, there's a difference between like Lutheria knowing eventually and 2 groups knowing simultaneously.
If we can take care of the wolf now, it will still be at least 10 minutes before the birds arrive, and even if they know that we're here, I can keep us protected in the dome.
Then we go.
All right.
Shade would just kind of like lunge at the wolf.
Okay, well let's roll initiative, and I think we'll end the session as we're right at 11. As you lunge at this wolf, and it prepares a howl. Yeah. Okay, well, cool. This is about where I expected us to get up to. Yes. So nice. But yeah, I do want to reiterate how densely packed and big this swarm birds is. It's like, it's a lot.
Fireball, increased radius, extra power.
That would kill some of them.
Yeah, like I can't do a 200-foot fireball.
Why don't you just believe in yourself? You can
All
do
you
it.
need to do is cast a fireball of water and then vortex it, and then cast a real fireball on top of it.
Well, that's pretty cool. But anyway, we'll talk about it more. Well, I mean, anyway, that's our game. But yeah. So that was really fun. Does anybody have any like shout outs for a cool moment they liked or play the game or anything?
Theo for being so heartbroken.
Yeah. That kind of went a direction that I didn't expect, and I like
It's Rue.
it's Rue. I didn't really ever think too deep about Rue in a death state, because like I assumed it'd be like, oh, he gets dropped down to 0 HP or something, but like this sort of massive damage, like I felt like it needed some sort of, I don't know. It's interesting.
Catastrophic failure.
Don't play nice with us, DM. You figured out that the way to hurt us is to hurt the people around us.
I mean, I figured that
people we
out.
love.
I figured that out a long time ago.
Yeah, when we saved the rando and gave some kid a golden arrow. 'Cause he was doing
You did
drugs.
give him. Wait, does anybody still have their OG arrow?
I have mine. I bought
Oh,
it
you bought it
back.
back? From the... That was so good.
Wow.
I love that.
I think I still have.
He's gonna have that put on his tombstone. He's holding on to that sucker.
I still have it engraved with the message.
It's amazing.
It's my arrow.
It's his arrow.
Like,
No doubt about it.
years later, like the next batch of Dragonlords comes to visit all of our tombs, and like we think it's like legendary armor and weapons and magical items from the Shade and Magus and Theo, and then they open up Falben's tomb, and it's a golden arrow worth 25 gold pieces.
I love that implies that it like there is no intrinsic sentimental value to this arrow. It is literally just worth its weight in gold. Like it's
Well, yeah,
it's
not the
25
Maltese
gold.
Falcon.
It was 25. It
Maltese
is
Falcon.
25. It always will be 25 because that's how much gold goes for these days. That's so dumb. I didn't say anything in the moment because I wanted to like keep the drama, but like the mask, picking up the mask, that is something I just forgot that I was like, oh, guy's probably, I didn't even think about him picking it back up. Like, of course he would pick it back up. But then you were like, I reached down and pick up the mask. And I'm like, nope, he absolutely left it on the ground. I'm making...
I know. I almost messaged you like during this past week to be like, did he pick up the mask again or did he leave it there? And I was like, no, I won't warn him.
Seriously, thank you, because like it caught me off guard, but like the drama was perfect because I'm like, of course, like he's done hiding, like he hates that he's had to like slog around for years with this mask like covering up this thing, but now he has unveiled himself and he no longer has to suffer under it, and yeah, like that's a decision that I would have just kind of, he would have just had his mask back, but oh man, I'm really glad you surprised me with that because that was one of my favorite moments of that interchange, and like the positioning and everything was like really cool because I was like, oh, why is he going into the middle of the building? Is he gonna rocket up with the echo to the roof or something? It's like, no, it's literally to go pick up the mask, and I'm like,
Yep.
so cool. So cool. I liked that because like Argon and Gaius were just gonna fly away, but like, of course you guys like a dragon, and Shade, he's in danger, And it's like, of course you attacked, but like it wasn't going to attack you, but you offended it. So, and the fact that Theo was the only one to get damage on it with his freaking fists is
Feel my rage.
so good, so good. Because it like and that tied into Argon killing Rue, like fueling this like, I've tasted your blood, I will be back for more kind of thing that like wouldn't have been there. Just so good. Just emergent storytelling. It's amazing.
Well, and when Theo was looking at his hands that were covered in blood,
yeah,
he was saying there's not nearly enough blood.
Oh yeah.
Like, this he wants to kill that dragon, like
like all I was able to spill was like a drop, you know, and in exchange for my friend kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
God, it's so good. That's so good. Oh man. Yeah. A lot to take in. In a way, I am glad we're leaving Mytros because it has been a hot minute that we've been there. But like, I'm also like really grateful because like there's so much cool like emergent plot that happened just because of, you know, like following threads and meeting people and like stuff that is I seriously have not touched the module in like months. Like I just haven't needed it, you know, like
throw it away.
Yeah, like there's been the occasional like, oh, what's the fame level chart again, like, but I'm like, man, like we have just been writing our own story for like 6 months, like IRL. It's great. Cool. Well, yeah. Is there anything like housekeeping wise we need to do between this week and next week? Is everybody okay for next week?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I think so.
Okay.
I'll probably be
a maybe.
Okay.
Or wait a minute. Not next week. The following week.
Following week is a maybe. Okay.
Thursday should be
That's
good.
Yeah, that makes sense because like I'm also gonna be in between trips. I am home on the 5th, so I can absolutely run, but I will have just gotten back from Texas on the 4th, and I'm going on a work trip on the 6th. So,
wow. Okay.
So if anybody else can't play, like so I am like 70% let's run, but like, you know, if we're down 2 people, then we can skip.
I have to check my dates. I've got like 3 or 4 trips that I'm going on in September, so I'll have to check those.
Okay. No.
I think for me, it's the week after that might be a problem.
Okay.
So September 12th.
Stacking it up.
Okay, we gotta get a bunch in because Magus is we gotta get Magus while we got him.
Hey, he's gonna be here. He's already got his plan in place. He's gonna ask his neighbors to suck it up, and he's gonna play at 2 a.m.
That's true. I sure hope so. Just get you a little.
What time does it come out for you if you're in?
Yeah, did you calculate that?
I would be getting up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, that's nothing.
If we maintain this time.
That's nothing.
Perfect.
I used to go whitetail deer hunting every Saturday. Wake up at 4 in the morning. You gotta. They're still wearing their nightcaps then, so you gotta get up.
Nightcap.
That's we can burn that bridge way down the road. Well, cool. Well, this was super fun, and if there's anything I forgot, message me later. We got a new subscriber last week, so welcome.
Nice.
I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're cool, and if you're listening to us, then you're really cool. Really stifling the urge to insult my new subscriber like I want to do.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Hey, we keep getting more, so you know, like some. No, actually, the first time I really like was nasty, we had a massive drop in views the next video. So like, again, that's not what it's about. It's a side benefit.
However, if you guys can get us fan art of of Gaius riding on a very plump and fat dragon, that would be awesome.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, Argon is a choice specimen dragon. Argon is cool beans. Cool. Well, that's all I got. So I'm gonna hit the stop record, and we can go to bed. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.